So that's not
Yeah,
irrelevant.
true. I don't
I
think you should
think
say
men
irrelevant. Choose a
discredit.
No,
different
y'all
word.
can't listen. Every species on the
But
earth walking has is a female part that
That's
counterpart that
irrelevant.
has a
That's
baby.
irrelevant.
It's your role to have a baby. So why do
That's
we always
irrelevant.
why deflect from what he's saying to speak about the 9 months that you're going through when
That's
having a
irrelevant.
baby? No, what is it? What it's a moot point. Why are we
So
talking
this
about it?
is this is why men and women can't get along. It's
I
because we
I think
see
No,
things in
no.
two whole total different ways.
no.
So for a man to tell a woman that that's irrelevant of her having to bond with a human being inside her body for 9 to 10 months, then birth that child and what we go through to do that versus you just coming to me enjoying some sex and leaving your sperm.
Again, I find it convenient that women default them taking responsibility of children we created. Because one thing that T said, you said, and some other women alike, we created. We're supposed to be responsible. It's our seed, right? It's my child, right? So you want to take my child wherever you deem to be the best case scenario. And then you want to hold me now to the financial authority of my position.
All I want to say is, at the end of the day, women need men and men need women. We need each other. The children need us to work together as a collective. The better off we are together, the better off the children will be.
Fair
I think
statement.
we
Can
all
I
need to take a second and humble ourselves and understand that we need each other and try to work through our differences, whatever they may be, for the better of everybody else.
So can I ask you a question, Toya? Because my conversation that I attempted to have with T actually was sparked from what you said in reference to the man not doing what he's supposed to do, and that's fair, right? Situations are situations, but I would again, if the life is created, and at some point you decide that you don't no longer want to be with this man for whatever reason, why does the default removal of that child fall with the woman, but then you want him to have some level of authority, but you removed his responsibility? Explain.
Well, I'm the only thing that I can see with that is that I know majority of the time women are the caregivers, right? So if she's the one that's the primary caregiver for this child, I could see why she would want to have, the child full time. However, I don't do I think that's the right way to go about it? No. But I've seen situations where the woman decides to leave and she has to make that choice now. Okay, well, is this baby going to come with me or is the baby going to stay with his dad? Now, if his dad is incapable of, being that primary caregiver, then obviously the baby has to go with the mom. But I've seen situations where the child is not a baby and it was a young boy, and his mom had to make that decision, like, is he going to be best off with me by himself, just me and him, or is he going to be best off with his father, just him and his dad? And I think she made the right decision when she decided to leave him with his father, because as a young man growing up, there's just certain things that his mom just cannot teach him, and he needs his father um, at that time more than ever.
Okay, fair. That and I'm
So it
glad
really
that you explained.
depends, but yes.
And I'm glad that you explained that. What I always find interesting is that, just like you stated, the women are making this unilateral decision. How do we know he's incapable of being an adequate parent if you constantly default the position of that child in your possession? And I've always asked this question.
Some people will tell you, some people will let you know, like they'll be like, listen, I am in no shape or form to take care of this baby. I work from this time to this time. When am I going to have time to spend with this child? I just don't have the resources to do that right now. Or he'll have to figure out a way to create structure in his life that would make a space for that child. Whereas most of the time, women, I can't speak for all women, but most of the time we rearrange our lives for our children.
Okay,
Our
so let me.
lives fit our children's schedule, not our children fit our schedule of our lives. You know what I mean?
That's fair. And obviously, this situation is not meant for anybody to shoulder the weight of raising a child. We know it's not easy. but I'll lead you to where I'm trying to go so I can speed it up. Again, I find it convenient that women default them taking responsibility of children we created. Because one thing that T said, you said, and some other women alike, we created. We're supposed to be responsible. It's our seed, right? It's my child, right? So you want to take my child wherever you deem to be the best case scenario. And then you want to hold me now to the financial authority of my position. And I
don't think that's right.
I don't understand that part, because true authority, in my opinion, just like removing a child, if me and you dated 3 years and you decide you don't want to be with me no more, no children alike, you done. You X'd me out. Do I have authority in your life moving forward after you decide that our relationship no longer exists? Can I call you in the middle of the night and say, hey, I'm hungry, come over here and make me some food? Probably not. So why is it that with a kid that is created, you get to now, because you're the parent, dictate in my world how I parent? When you remove me out the equation, it's asinine. It doesn't make any sense. And I think that I would like to see some maturity on the women's side. If give those kids to that child, to that dad, or woman up, as you guys say, we got a man up, woman up. If you decide that you no longer want to be attached to this man with that level of authority, contribution, and so on, then you shoulder the weight of your decision, you grown woman. And I'll land.
But not
So
only
how is
that.
that equivalent? I'm sorry, I'm confused. As a mom that, had to carry a child for 9 to 10 months and actually go through the labor of birthing that child, and then you say that I should have a choice of either just giving it up or getting help from you. How is that equivalent?
I know you smart. I know you smarter than this, Paris. I know
I
you are.
am. That's what I'm
I
trying to
know
figure out where you're going.
where I'm going with it is that, and I explained it. We had consensual sex and created a child. Your 9 months is irrelevant because your body is made to make children.
No, yeah, that's not
Well,
irrelevant because
it
our
is
body do go through a whole cycle and we're bonding and we're carrying that child in our womb. So that's not
Yeah,
irrelevant.
true. I
So
don't
I
think you should
think he
No,
say
meant
irrelevant. Choose a
discredit.
no,
different
y'all
word.
can't listen. Every species on the
right.
earth walking has a female part that
That's
counterpart that
irrelevant.
has a
That's
baby.
irrelevant.
It's your role to have a baby. So why do
That's
we always
irrelevant.
why deflect from what he's saying to speak about the 9 months that you're going through
That's
when having a
irrelevant.
baby? No, what is it? What it's a moot point. Why are we
So
talking
this
about it?
is this is why men and women can't get along. It's because
I
we
think
see
No,
things in
no.
two
Oh,
whole
oh,
total different ways.
no.
So for a man to tell a woman that that's irrelevant of her having to bond with a human being inside her body for 9 to 10 months, then birth that child and what we go through to do that versus you just coming to me enjoying some sex and leaving your sperm and then
Paris.
say
I don't think
that's
the context. I
equivalent.
don't think that's the context that he was trying to
Right.
say it
It
in,
wouldn't. That
because
would definitely
it's
wouldn't.
That
already
is what he
known.
just said,
No,
but
it's
he
No, no,
just
not.
Wait,
no.
said that
maybe
we should be
That's
let
able
three
to
people.
Hold on.
drop the
let
child
Jay
off
oh,
at
explain
hold
his
on.
school.
vision.
Let's get him to clarify then.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Paris. If a child is going to be born on this earth, who is going to be the one holding the child inside of their body?
of course, the woman.
Okay, so that's why it's irrelevant, because it doesn't make sense to explain to me how life is created. I'm not dumb, neither are you. So, sake of time to try to bolster up the fact that your body is literally engineered to do this is irrelevant, regardless on how someone may feel about it. The fact is
So,
that your 9 months to my lifetime contribution as that parent, in my opinion, is irrelevant. So
so
that's
why
why.
is your strength not irrelevant? Because when you talk about they were talking about getting beat
Hold on,
up and
Candy. We got to get Bo in there before you get in there. I know you got
sorry,
a question though.
sorry.
What I was trying to get to again, because the statement was made, and you said it's a false equivalent of some sorts. I don't get it. Babies, we know how they're made, we know how they're created, and I'm saying that it's still convenient that the women, because of what you said, Paris, since you bonded with that child for 9 months, which that's an experience no man will ever understand from that perspective. How does that give you the unilateral right to remove my child from my life and you go do whatever it is you deem worthy or necessary, and then now hold me to the responsibility of the contribution that I made to that child's life?
Well, I don't think that the women just actually, all women is just actually removing you from that child's life. There's a lot of factors where you leave that woman as well. Most men do leave women. I don't know why we make it seem like the woman is removing a man. But anyway, if it was created for you to actually hold that responsibility to take care of that child, why didn't God give you the resources to birth the child? So anyway, we have the resources to birth the child. So why is it so hard to understand that we ultimately have the say so in the child who's taking care of the child?
Rearing the
Because
child.
you're doing a horrible job.
No, hold on.
Y'all raise. I mean,
I got it.
answer a question. True. Why? She asked you why.
I got it. Because of the fact that
Can
you're
I say
not.
something?
Hold on, let me
Hold on,
finish.
Toya. We gotta get Bo in there before you.
Okay.
You've seen it that way, Paris, and women alike seen it that way. There'd be no child support. There'd be no contribution from that man. But that's not what is the case. So whoever leaves, men don't leave women in mass. That's statistically inaccurate. But if you are saying that you are the dominant figure in the equation, then there's no point of having to reach back for assistance. And that's what my problem is with this equation, is that women want the convenience of our financial authority, but you don't want my true actual authority. You cannot remove my child from my authority and then dictate to me that I'm supposed to take care of it. That's not how that works, which is why I asked Toya, if me and you are together, you're in a relationship with me and you break up with me, can I now reach out to you and say, hey, I need girlfriend privileges. I need you to go ahead and take care of these things when you decide to go from up under my covering? It's no different. But for whatever reason, women do not seem to understand a simple principle. If you take my child and decide to be the authority in that child's life, leave me alone. I should never hear from you. I shouldn't get no letters. You shouldn't be asking me to contribute. But what you guys want is the convenience of
Wait,
what that.
True, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Toya.
No, Toya.
True, I have a
Yeah,
question.
Toya, you gotta wait.
is
It's Bo
supposed to be
turn. It's
going.
Bo turn.
You
But
gotta
I
wait.
actually I do understand
Okay,
when you say it like
fine.
that. I do
Hey, Bo,
understand that point of
we
that
try to
part.
fight for you.
But go ahead, Bo.
Go ahead, Bo.